What's up, YouTube? Last time you joined me here, you saw my rip in the Uber Lab, and now I'm happy to present to you my new character, same exact level 89, but I was able to do Uber Lab. I conquered my arch nemesis, and I've got this Way of the Poacher, giving me 4 frenzy charges total and frenzy charge generation on boss fights. Overall, I also added myself a new MTX, and it's kind of hard to say, right? People say like the game's not pay to win, but having MTX that looks like this compared to the base MTX really makes a huge difference in how the skill feels. And look at this. Oh wait, if I got rid of the MTX, oh wait, it's because I have a billion toxic rains. I have to find the right one that right here. So look how boring the skill looks compared to having a celestial effect. Celestial effect is my favorite one. I looked at all the ones in the video, and this is the one that stood out the most to me. The bad thing about this is it's kind of hard to see any ground effects if you have this, and there's a reason why no one playing the Gauntlet who's playing Toxic Rain is actually using the Celestial Toxic Rain effect. But as they say, function does not matter as much as form, or form over function. It just looks a lot better, right? But basically, the character is up and running. Hopefully we can see some bossing soon. I'm going to go over my build and what I'm still looking forward to upgrading on my current character. And then we're going to go look at the arms race going on PoE Ninja. Like, I'm trying to do the top DPS, right? And it just keeps changing. And then you can see it's the race between the Elemental Hit Chad and the Spectral Shield Throw God. So I'm going to go over the Spectral Shield Throw character real fast, because this guy has taken it to the next level. And it's actually just crazy how high damage scales. And I'm going to show you exactly what he did. This guy's not stacking 13 Watcher's Eyes. He's actually stacking something else. But let's get straight into the Toxic Rain gear. Okay, my current character has like 6.4k life. It's pretty strong. So this is the thing I was farming all day on stream for. And I actually got the last 3 cards for the Porcupine. You need 6 of the cards to get a 6-link short bow, eye level 50. I spent all day farming it, and I only got 1 in 9 hours, and then I got 3 within like 30 minutes. I even got 2 in 1 map. And then I used all my essences, and I finally hit this one on the last try, and it's actually so lucky. So the way you craft this bow is you need an open prefix and open suffix when you do the craft, because of the fact that you need an open suffix to craft on chaos damage over time multi, and the suffix also needs to be used to craft on cannot roll attack, so you can exalt it and get a guaranteed, what's it called? A guaranteed +1 gem. So right now I have an open prefix, so when I craft on cannot roll attacks, I am guaranteed to get +1 to gems. So it's a +3 bow. And not only that, I also got lucky and got an attack speed on the suffix. So this is actually a dream bow, and it's definitely enough to do everything in the game. And I'm super happy that I was able to get this. I could technically get a hunter bow, but that's very, very unlikely to happen. And I don't really have that much time to get perfect gear. Now this helm is pretty much the same type of helm I've been using. Life, dual res, some int. And then the important thing is you can get 6% of fizz taken as fire. I see some people actually using the ward helm, so I might try crafting a ward helm. So here is this other helm I have, ward, but I'm not too sure if I want to craft it. So basically we have these 2 items. Potentially I can get something with more life, but right now this helm should be served its purpose pretty well. Now this amulet, I crafted with Rog. Rog is actually pretty good, and the way you can get influence basis is you use Rog, and then you kind of just gamble your way through it. So let me show you real fast.
You want the premium deal?
So say like you want like a ring or something, or a belt, you would just buy it.
It's your lucky day.
And I don't have any more currency, but eventually it will give you an option to add an influence, and that's the way I was able to get this ring, this hunter ring. So I'm going to try to reroll caster to get despair on hit. Actually kind of excited because getting despair on hit will make mapping a lot more smooth. So this ring is just your standard SSF affair, lots of life and resist, and especially in this gauntlet mode, you really need chaos res, as chaos really hurts, and chaos is kind of hard to get because if you look at the gauntlet mods, it actually gives you -20 to all resistances, which actually applies to chaos res. So that's super unfortunate. So you can see why I'm prioritizing chaos res so much. I have chaos res here. I have crafted fire and chaos res, crafted lightning and chaos, and crafted fire and chaos. One of the easiest ways to fix your chaos resist is to use the suffix, just dual res craft to get chaos res. So when Chris talks about hard mode, you can see how hard it is actually going to be to get any resemblance of resist. And I don't really know how fun exactly the game is when you have no resist and you just end up taking 4 to 5 times the regular amount of damage. So this ring here is another life resist ring, but basically I'm at 22% chaos res, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. And then this chest piece does need an ashling maybe, and I could try to ashling it and try to get open prefix, and it might be something I want to do. So if you did the ashling, you would try to hit off either the resist or the attribute requirement. So you want to hit off the the reflect, and then add on the ailment, but that's like kind of risky and it's kind of unlikely to happen. So not really sure how we're going to go about the chest crafting. I could also try to do it with veiled chaos orbs until you get life and then a veiled prefix, and then hopefully there's an open prefix slot, but that's also very, very unlikely. So ideally the chest needs to have both the crafted, it needs to have crafted. So let's put this chest here. You want your chest to have dodge. You want to have discraft on here. Then you also want to have 8 to 10% chance to dodge spell hits. So that brings you to cap spell. So the way you could do this is you can get life and then like dual res, and then you can try to multi-mod it. And that's one way of doing it, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. So I do have to farm up the multi-mod recipe. And also I need to get more exalts. I finally got my first exalt drop of the whole gauntlet, and I will have to save this for my 6-link bow to get +1 gems. Now the belt is atrocious. I do try rolling more belts of the with Rog, but I really need a hunter or elder belt, so that's what we're at right now. This pair of gloves I'm fine. It's 80 high life, high resist, and then it's also some chaos res. This boots is the same thing. It's high life and then T1 lightning res, and I'll probably recraft this to have a higher move speed. I could also try to exalt it with Leo to try to get another resist if possible. So you can see right now, most of my gear I'm waiting to get influence. So I want to get a hunter influence amulet to get +1 dex gems. I want to get a hunter influence quiver to get chaos dot multi, and I want to get a hunter or elder influence belt to get % life. And I also want these 2 rings to be vermilion if possible, and that should push me to around 7.5k-ish HP after I hit like level 95 and fill out the rest of my life nodes. So I have these life nodes here, and then eventually I can swap over to cluster setup. And as you can see here, I have all my clusters. I have two 8 passive point chaos dot ones. This one's better to roll since it's 62. And then this one is increased effect of curses, and then increased damage over time, increased chaos damage over time. So these are the clusters I'll be using. And also I have some life in case I want to roll Fedo or Surging Vitality. So you can see I have everything I need to kill all the bosses. I just need to roll it all. Only thing I'm missing is honestly just the influence pieces I mentioned, which will take a while. But most importantly, I need to stay alive. I need to take a little bit slow. Oh, I still have stacked decks here. I actually got one of the Porcupine cards from a stacked deck, so that was pretty cool. But overall, character's a lot better to play with the MTX. As cringe as it is to say, MTX does make a huge difference. But now let's go talk about the ongoing arms race on PoE Ninja. So PoE Ninja, a little crazy. This guy's profile is just absurd. This is the person with 5.5 build. So as I said earlier, there's a 5.6 build and 5.5 build character. Will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now at this point, these people are unashamedly just using as many stacking things as possible. He has 5 large clusters, and this is pretty much all pen. I'm not really sure if these are actually the best large clusters, but they probably are. So these are just all 12-point clusters, or wait, these are all 8 passive point clusters. Blanket Stowe, Vengeful Commander, and then he gets these ones here. And then I'm pretty sure at every single one of these clusters he puts a Seething Fury in. So this is just gives him an insane amount of multi. So let's go see how good his shield is. This person's shield is your standard affair, all T1s. Then he also has a chance to deal double damage. I think the shield could potentially maybe be better. Not really sure. It could definitely be better with a synthesized base. But let's import this profile into Path of Building and see what happens. 5.5 billion. I don't think I've ever seen a number this high. So you can see he's 158 points. That's how you know it's a good build. And when you're trying to do these builds, you always want to try to get as many large jewel sockets as possible. As you can see, you don't actually have that many points to take it. So he's pretty much stacking eye to eye, which is pretty much a 60% projectile damage jewel. And then this is 30% projectile damage, 8% attacking cast speed. Now, the most important thing, though, is not really the clusters. It's more the fact that you can put a jewel at every single end of the medium cluster. So this allows them to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Seeding Fury jewels. And then his travel nodes, I mean, he just has a bunch of Seeding Fury. I don't even know why he chooses to use Watcher's Eyes. I guess there's a nice balance between the amount of Seeding Furies he can have and Watcher's Eyes, because I think at a certain point he'll have a 100% crit chance, and then there's a severe diminishing return on crit multi. So you can see here it's 1,635% crit multi because of all the Seeding Fury jewels that stack. So maybe if PoE Ninja or Path of Building can limit the amount of jewels that can be stacked when they have the same name, it would be pretty good. At least just for PoE Ninja's sake, if Path of Building could implement something like that. Because right now it seems like Path of Building cannot really differentiate between the Watcher's Eyes having limited to 1 and still just counts it as all the damage. Now this is more of an API thing, why this thing has so many extra points, because PoE Ninja just assumes that you have every single point and they don't really know what's going on. So these are all what, pen and double damage. It'll be really interesting to see how much more damage this guy can squeeze out of the build. So it seems like Pride double damage and Cold Pen Hatred is probably the best. Now, in terms of what's he actually doing for boosting his damage through auras, he's using your standard. So I'm wondering why he has Frenzy on here. And of course, this guy is actually a Berserker, because Berserker is by far the most damage ascendancy and is not even that close. So this person has a lot of auras that I'm pretty sure he's not really running. So he has Precision, Haste, Hatred, Arrogance. And he also has Aspect of the Spider. And then he has Berserk, Blood Rage, Pride, Herald of Ice. And he also has the King of Tooltip boosting, the Summon Skitter boss with Divergent Bone Chill and Awaken Unbound Ailments. The reason you use Divergent Bone Chill is it says enemies in chilling areas, what's it called? Increased cold damage taken. Oh wait, enemies chilled by support skills increase cold damage taken by chill effect. So basically this increases, I'm not really sure what this actually does. Not too sure. But basically it just gives him an insane amount of damage. Let's see what Summon Skitter boss happens if you turn off Divergent Bone. It's actually a 10% damage difference. So you can see here, like when you're up at a build that it's a bunch of multipliers, just disabling like the supporter skills deal 14% more cold damage. So just disabling something like this is a 500 million DPS swing because of how big every single little bit matters. So this one here is a almost 1 billion DPS swing. Awaken Unbound Ailments is 300 million. So that's just the power of more multipliers. Like if you just turned off like 2 or 3 of these auras, his damage would go down by a lot. The Frost Bomb is here for the cold exposure. And then of course you have the Sniper's Mark and then Ancestral Protector with Enhance. And Sniper's Mark is extremely strong with Enhance. So let's see here. So I'm pretty sure if I turn off Sniper's Mark, the damage would go down by a lot. Oh, it's 21%. So another bill gone. And then without the totem, already cut in half. So you can see everything just multiplies and stacks on each other. So it's not that crazy that they're able to squeeze out so much damage more and more. All they need to do is find another more multiplier, and then bam, they get another 1 billion DPS or something like that. So it'll be nice to see what happens. So this is another way of stacking jewels, and it is to get seeding Fury jewels. This jewel will probably be nerfed in the next patch, I'm pretty sure. But oh yeah, and like I say before, always get increased effect on your damage flasks. Now this is probably the best. Man, String of Servitude is so good. His Circle of Guilt are actually not that good. He can definitely get like Intimidate or something like that. Or I don't know. There's got to be something better. You can get a Circle of Guilt with multi on it. So this is how you know this person can actually improve by a lot. Like what is this? This weapon is not even that good, right? Unless I'm missing something. I guess it's just Hatred effect and that's the +2 Socket of Melee Gems effects. Yeah, I think this person could actually have a lot better gear. So look at this helm. This helm is actually bad. This person has a lot of room to grow. I think we could be seeing the next 10 billion DPS profile here. Right? This is not even +2/+2. Yeah, because I saw his shield. His shield didn't look insanely good. Even his amulet is not that great. Wow. Wait, this is a troll profile. He has blue boots on. He has 5.5 bill DPS. It really just shows you he just has the stuff that actually matters. But this is how you get 5.5 billion with honestly not the best gear. It's just full exploitation of PoE Ninja and Pop. Anyhow, I hope you guys like the arms race of the the two profiles going back and forth. And not only that, but it shows you at least what you can do to like fix your damage on your build. In the end, it's about finding the more multipliers, and damage conversion is extremely strong, and it's about getting more crit multi. And obviously you can't get 1600% crit multi, but that's another thing. Now, I just want to talk a little bit before I end about Expedition. And Expedition actually feels really good to play in SSF Hardcore on Gauntlet. Every single vendor has a use, unlike softcore trade. So like ROG you can use to craft gear and get influence bases. Gwenin you can use to gamble uniques or get influence bases. Tujin, it gives you the small currency you need along with a lot of other random stuff. Danik gives you the buying ability to buy logbooks and be able to trade currency. Now the sad part is in softcore trade, Chris is kind of right in the sense that because so much loot drops, all of this stuff is devalued. Like no one really cares about Tujin or ROG or Gwenin at any rate in mapping, and it's just not really enjoyable to do because the currency you get from it is so small and unimpactful compared to actually doing mapping in softcore. And that is the allure of playing solo self-found, I think, and pretty much what Chris gets at with saying when less item drops, it has more value. In SSF, you're able to create chase items for yourself that are usually trash. Like, so you know the prophecy trash to treasure. SSF is literally a trash to treasure league in that a trash that you would find in a trade league is literally your treasure. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just like, I think that Chris's vision does have merits, and it is easy to see if you come from an SSF standpoint. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors and exhaust than I do. And if you're still playing Gauntlet, I hope you stay alive. And hopefully I can bring some extra bossing action in the next video. But thanks for watching and good night. Bye.